back at it, little by a lot. Today we're going to be building a fire pit, a propane fire pit, an awesome fire pit. Let's get to it. All right, you want to see what really kind of frustrates me a little bit? I got deer on the property, and they had completely torn the crap out of this plant. It used to be a pretty big, bushy plant, and look at it now. Look at this, they just stubbed it. I mean, it's just in the stubs. It used to look like that down there. I mean, they've torn the bark off of it. Dang it! Fire pit has this awesome burner. It's like 31 inches by 10 inches. And then I'm going to build a, like I said, a concrete fire top to it or tabletop to it. It's going to be about 4 feet by about 2 feet. And then the legs are going to be built out of 2-inch angle iron, about a 6-foot piece. I'm going to cut that down. I got some rebar that I also got. I don't remember the size of it, but it's a, I don't know, 3/8 I think is what it is. And then I also have some, basically kind of looks like shiplap boards that I'm going to fit over top of each other. It's going to be about, you know, when you're sitting down in your chair, it's kind of like an ottoman top, you know, like a size. And so we're going to build it like 18 to 21 inches, I believe is what it's going to end up being. I'm going to show you the parts that I'm going to use to build this propane, so make sure it has plenty of airflow. This thing blows out like 90 to 150,000 BTUs. Typical flames, like when you go to Home Depot or Lowe's or even those other box stores and get like one of those $300 ones, or $200 ones, they put out like 30 to 40, 50, maybe 50,000 BTUs, and their flames get like this big and there's no warmth in there. Well, I didn't want that. I cranked it up and it's like 3-foot flames. Taking my 2-inch angle iron, putting it in the vice grip, I'm going to measure out the height of the fire pit that I want, which ended about 15 inches. Using my Drill Master Harbor Freight angle grinder and just cutting off what I need. And then I'm going to clean up the edges here just to make sure I'm not going to harm myself or cut myself when I'm putting it all together. I have pre-drilled some holes. You can see there's some smaller holes in there, and this is just the larger drill bit getting through it. I used a metal Milwaukee drill bit, 7/16, and I'm just using some of that WD-40 you can see there to help lubricate the drill bit so it doesn't get too hot and creates better shavings and things like that. So just pushing those holes through. There was 6 holes per side, so 12 holes per angle iron. Sorry about the dog barking next door, he just doesn't shut up. Anyways, took my pieces here and I figured out that I want to use the super rough side to this. And so I end up mitering the ends of it, which is just a fancy word saying I put a 45 on it. They're going to go together like so. I'm going to put my metal pieces on the outside of it, drill my holes, put my bolts in, and that will be the base. Here is cutting off the ends of those bolts, because what I realized is when you drill in 2 holes that are exactly the same distance up and down, that well, you can't run one into the other. This is me showing you where the bolts would run together, but cutting them off worked pretty good. Well, that actually turned out pretty good. I was worried a little bit about the squareness, but the bolts fit in. It looks pretty dang cool. You know, I'm not sure if I'm going to, what do you call it, shushibani, you know, the thing where you burn it and it kind of like gets rid of the pesticides and kind of maintains it, or if I'm going to stain it kind of the same color I got on my patio out there. The shiplap fits together pretty good. I left the lip at the top there because you're not really going to see it. I'll have a 2-inch overhang for my concrete top. Let's go ahead and get into the meat and potatoes of the actual fire pit itself. I went and bought this off Amazon. It was $70. Like I said, it's like 31 inches, I believe, and 10 inches across. It's got this H valve here with a whole bunch of holes poked out of it. It's also got the option to put one of those electric fire starters or whatever right here. It's got a little flap that you can unscrew and, or, you know, drill your deal in there. The bottom of it Has a male end on here. I believe this is all 1/2 inch. So this is the air mixture valve that I bought from Amazon. It has the nipple that goes to your air regulator valve. When it comes, it's pretty much assembled already, so you really can't mess it up. This is where the air comes in. It mixes with the propane, so it's just kind of a wet heat. Make sure it's got plenty of air flowing through there. It even has an arrow on there to show you which way to put it on. I put a coupler on the end here. And this basically screws onto the air regulator valve and then onto the fire pit or fire assembly here. And basically they just attach here. I'm going to be using some of that yellow Teflon gas tape on all these fittings. And then when I went and got the air regulator valve, instead of the normal 20-pound or 20 psi valves, I ended up getting a 30. So I got the 30 psi regulator valve that, be able to supply a little bit more propane when I want it. It attaches just like anything else. This attaches to the small end of the air mixture valve here. And that's pretty much it. And then that's your fire pit. I got a 12-foot hose so I can run this out of the fire pit into a place that I want it. Eventually I'll end up building a little housing for the propane tank. This is a normal 20 or 15 or 20 pound, whatever, just normal propane tank. I'm pretty excited to get this together. Let's get the top put together. But like I said, just a few pieces, no big deal. Air mixture valve, $25, $30. This, depending on the size hose, depending on whatever cost you got. The brass fitting here, the coupler that I got was $7, I think, and I got that at Home Depot. You can probably get them online as well. The propane fire deal was $71 with some tax. Ship pretty easy. Put them down in the description if you want to check them out. If you are typically used to seeing some melamine board, that is the way to go. Couldn't find any. Had some of this foam board sitting around in the garage. I've used it before. It worked okay. Yes, there is some imperfections in the board, but this is going to be a more rustic style concrete top, and so I didn't mind some of the blemishes that it's going to leave. Works out okay. Make sure you secure it from the bottom and secure all your pieces. I am gluing the centerpiece here down, and then I'm going to glue it down in the center of the concrete so that my fire assembly can sit inside of it. So as you can tell, it's working pretty good, and the flames that I can get out of this put out a lot of warmth. You can also tell that the top of it I didn't vibrate very well, and so it does have some of those pinholes and some irregularities in the top of the concrete countertop, which is okay. Like I said, this is going to be a little bit of rustic style. The top ended up taking about 1¼ bags. There was 20 pounds of the glass in there. In all, I probably have about $200 into this project, which is way cheaper than you can buy anything that would be online. They are all, super expensive, up to thousands of dollars. This is plenty big for me. We actually kind of like it here in the garage, but we're going to move it out to the patio. This doesn't give me any crazy whistle or anything, so it seems like the air mixture valve is doing pretty good. I do have plans maybe in the future to put one of those electric starts on here, but the little lighter that I use works pretty good too. I don't seem to mind it that much. It does have the edges of it do have the kind of not of a sharp edge that you normally have, but like I said, it's a little bit more rustic. Or if you wanted to put some metal on the outsides of it to clean up the edges, you surely can. But I am actually very happy with this. It puts out lots of heat, and we're going to enjoy this for many nights and many years. An upgrade to this would be putting wheels on it so you can roll it around wherever you want. And that may be something that I do, is put some wheels on it so it's easier to roll around, because this thing weighs about 200 pounds right now. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe, hit the like button, comment if you like. And guys, until next time, I'll see you on the next one.